Welcome back to the show. Now, what food best represents your family or the city you live in? A new cooking competition aims to highlight the melting pot of American food.
Yes, welcome to the show. Today, food and lifestyle contributor and host of the Great American Recipe, Alejandra Ramos. Welcome.
Welcome, Alejandra. How you doing?
Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be talking with you both today.
Oh, we're excited to be talking to you because we love food.
Definitely.
And also we love food competitions. So you have to tell us about the Great American Recipe, your new show.
Yes. Oh man, you guys are people after my own heart. Yeah. So yeah, the Great American Recipe is this super fun, joyful, uplifting cooking competition. We've got 10 incredible home cooks from regions around the country. And like you said, it's all about the food that represents not just necessarily where they live physically, but also where their heart lives, right? Because that's not always the same place.
Wow.
It's really about celebrating every single step and part of their journey and what makes them who they are.
I love it. And I like the fact that you said uplifting because some of these food competitions, they're harsh. They beat down on people, telling them they suck, they can't do this. So I love the fact that you're saying it's uplifting, it's refreshing, it's, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
Honestly, to a certain degree, we sometimes have to remind them it was a competition because they all became such good friends. They were tasting each other's recipes, helping each other out, cooking together. And we're like, hey, you have to go finish your thing first before you can help someone out.
You know you're supposed to crush them, right? Okay?
Yeah. But see, I love the premise of it because the competition showcases talented, everyday people that are great cooks at home.
Yeah.
But not necessarily in restaurants.
Like not professionals or with the culinary school.
Because we all believe we can make those dishes, certain dishes, but when we get outside of our comfort zone, things change. Ain't that right?
That is true. I mean, that's such a great point because, yeah, these aren't professional chefs. I think a lot of times the professional chefs are more used to that kind of, that intense time, when there's time involved and there's lots of things involved and last minute changes, right? When you're at home, you're so much more relaxed. But I gotta tell you, these 10 cooks were so good. Like, we were so impressed with the quality of their food.
Wow.
There were so many dishes that they served us that I would have paid money for. I still dream about some of them. And I wouldn't even be surprised if one or two of those cooks end up going on to making this a professional thing because they really were so good. And it brought out so much of them. You see them grow through the progression of the show, right? Like they stretch and they expand and they started amazing and they go home even more incredible.
That's awesome. Alejandra, you did say, you mentioned dreaming of food and I thought I was the only one that does that, so it's amazing. It's amazing to hear you say that. So can you I can only imagine what type of dishes they were cooking on the show, but can you give us a little tease? What kind of food are we talking here?
All right, so what they did was we'd give them different challenges, and it was things like what's your comfort food, right? There was an episode called The Language of Love, and it was all about like what do you cook for someone when you love them? We had them represent themselves on a plate. There were some. I'll tell you some of my favorites. Dan, one of our Italian chef from Rhode Island, he made this incredible spicy calamari that I just crave constantly. Sylvia would always do homemade tortillas. Like she made one with bacon fat, which was epic. We've had Robin who would do the most, like everything she made, she would serve it and it had a beautiful bread on the side and then she'd be like, oh yeah, I made the bread from scratch too.
I love that. Now see, Josh, you couldn't go in there because you can't go in there and cook some Kraft mac and cheese.
No, I will practice this. Shoot,
Yeah, you did your thing. You did your thing.
I went through like 10 steaks and was practicing my filet Oscar.
You did.
And who gets to choose the winner?
Right, that's what I want to know.
Well, we had 3 judges with us. We had Graham Elliott, who's an absolute rock star, Tiffany Derry from Texas, and Leah Cohen from New York. And then I had the best job because all I had to do was eat and enjoy and wear cute dresses, and I didn't have to pick any favorites. But they were
that's the perfect situation to be in. Like, I'm just here to eat. Okay, right. I'm hosting right now, right. Alejandra, I love your energy. I know the fact that you said everybody was just vibing with each other. We know this is a great, fun show.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining our show. Actually, tell our viewers where they can watch it at.
Absolutely, yes. So Friday nights at 9 p.m. on your local PBS station. Don't miss it.
Wow.
And you can also catch up on PBS.org and the PBS app if you miss any episodes.
If you want to stream it. That's right, Alejandra, thank you so much. The Great American Recipe on PBS. We got more Cribs in the CLE. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. And I know what I'm going to be watching Friday night. Some food.
Yeah.